Hi, this is Jim Starkweather, the publisher of KitMaker Network and Aeroscale, and welcome to another episode of Cracking the Box. Today, thanks to our friends at Tamiya USA, we have the new Vought F4U-1A Corsair in 1/32 scale from Tamiya. This kit is a obviously continuation release of their original Corsair, which came out a year and something ago, or 2 years ago, I guess. This kit, I'm not an expert on the Corsair, so I'm not going to pretend to be, but I'm going to make an assumption that this kit has a different cockpit than the birdcage cockpit last release. Also, they're including in this export version only a clear engine cowling part, which basically can show off the engine area. It says on the front here, reference manual with images included, and that's 12 pages full color. So this is, again, a 1/32 scale aircraft series, number 25, wingspan 390 millimeters, fuselage length 318 millimeters. Highly detailed static model faithfully captures imposing form with specific F4U-1A features such as semi-bubble canopy, starboard wing spoiler, and optional longer tail wheel strut. Can be constructed with folded or extended inverted gull wing. F4U-1A cockpit interior features multiple modifications. Two-piece engine cowling can be removed after assembly. Depict aircraft parked or in flight. 3 marking options and 2 figures included. So on the side here, I can see they've got a couple of different side views. They're showing Marine Corps VMF 214 Vela La Vela Island, December 1943, and then U.S. Navy VF 17 Adonga Airfield, November 1943. So let's see what the other side have. Oh, color photos. They show the engine detail, which looks amazing, the cockpit, which looks amazing, and then some just longer external shots there. Photo etch obviously included with this kit. Let's go ahead and crack her open, shall we? If you're not familiar with my unboxing videos, basically I'm just going to unbox the kit. I'm going to show you what's inside. Probably a lot of parts here are going to be similar to the original release. I don't know, I'm not that much of an expert in terms of which one's which, so please pardon if I make comments about, ooh, doesn't this look nice, when that's obviously the same part as the original kit. I didn't get to do one of these unboxing videos with our original Corsair that we got in back then, because I believe it came in just short of me going to Nationals in Denver, or in Colorado anyways. And so the kit went off to a reviewer before I got to do a video on it. So, but let's go ahead and crack this one open and see what we got. All right, well, right off the bat, you can see a nice little kind of inbox effect here. We've got some photo etch staring us in the face. We've got some clear plastic with a painting transparent G parts notification here tip. So very nice. And so I'm guessing that the clear parts are obviously potentially the same part, because they're talking about spraying them to paint them. So you have the option, obviously, of keeping them clear or spraying them, or keeping... I'm not sure that these would have any actual parts that would remain clear. Maybe they do. Maybe they have some see-through areas for crew, like some plexiglass transparent areas that were for them to look through and see areas. I've never seen that on the front of the aircraft, but maybe I've just been blind. All right, so they also include here some of the rubber wheels with a little screwdriver and so forth. Kind of things you get in a Tamiya kit that are kind of like, oh, that's cute. They gave you a little screwdriver. And you can see it's very nice. The rubber wheels look very well detailed. Probably again the same rubber wheels you got in the last kit. But so here's the, I believe these are called wings. Yes, I think these are called wings. The underside detail is interesting. Obviously, I'm seeing a lot of push pin marks, but this not. You're going to see some of this obviously with the wheel wells. I'm just trying to see which parts they've detailed and which parts they've basically versus the production part. There's a lot of strutting in here, which I guess is to give it additional strength. Because I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to see the inside. So, all right. So the external part. Let's go ahead and let me take it out of here. It might be easier for me to see it out of the bag. So I'm assuming that these parts probably are the same. Let me take a look at the date stamp on the. Okay, the date here, which I could probably just have done this if my camera cooperates and gets in focus. But it's a 2013 date. So this is the original wing, obviously, for the same part as the original release. But again, just from looking at it for the first time myself up close, wow, just like really great panel line detail here. The ribbing is really nice. So I can see why people were so, I mean, again, let me see if I can get my camera to, but look at that detail. That is just amazing. Look at that fine detail there. Whoa, that is just crazy. So, yeah, I'm suitably impressed. Tamiya paid me no money to say such things. Actually, they're not an advertiser on the site, so. And I send these kits off, and it costs me money, so just FYI. These actually cost me money. I don't actually get anything off these. So there is, again, some nice panel line detail. This piece probably also 2013. Yeah, 2013 also. So I'll try to point out which pieces look like they're the new ones. But again, kind of commenting just on, again, some of these details. Like, wow, that's nice. I don't even know what that is, but it looks really nice. One of the I think landing gear doors. I'm not sure. So yeah, that piece looks good, and this one is equally as baffling. It looks like some interior strut, like some of the wing interior parts. No idea what these go to. Just, I love it when you see parts and you're like, I have no idea where that goes. I mean, obviously it looks like they're including a lot of the internal wing strut detail. I can only assume that's because of the open landing gear doors. So nice, very nice. And again, I'll just double check, but I'm pretty sure that's a 2013 part. Yeah, 2013. And here is some of the fuselage, 2013. Same, really. Come on, camera. You can see some of the riveting detail. I'm not even sure those are rivets. They look more like they're just like sink marks for screws or something, like sheet metal screws. But yeah, very nice detail overall. Very pretty. All right, so then we've got this underside piece where the actual wheel wells and lower fuselage go together and connect to the wings, I assume. And then this piece, probably going to be hard pressed to find a date on this, because it doesn't look like it was dated. So this is part B1. I'm assuming this probably goes together with all the other parts, so that unless the landing gear area changed at all, this is probably the same piece as in the original release one of the cowlings. Now this includes obviously some of the plastic pieces I was talking about earlier, so I guess the clear plastic piece would be a 2014 new release. But again, these look really nice. We'll, if you want to see the detailed photos, just skip ahead. I would love to be able to edit these so that like I could put the photos up at the same time I'm talking about them. But to be honest, the video editing software here at the office is not as good as the one I have at home. But that said, it would take a lot more time to edit these. So, okay, here's some of the obviously landing gear and other component pieces. Landing gear look very nice and detailed for even a 1/32 scale kit. And this is a 2013 piece also. I'm precariously stacking all these on the other side. Probably somebody go, oh, no, don't do that. You may accidentally break something. I've been doing this so long, I'm an expert. Right. Okay, so 2013 on this one as well. And again, some of the stabilizers and flaps, I think. Various little pieces there. Alright, so we're getting back down to the bottom of this side anyways. And again, more flaps or control areas. I'm so good with that aircraft lingo. Yeah, I don't, again, I've flown aircraft, but I do not profess to be a, and by flown, I mean I've like handled the, it wasn't a stick, it was a, I don't know, you don't call a steering wheel, it's the control. See, I'm even bad remembering the names of the things. Alright, so this piece is also, I'm not sure on these clear parts of the bubble canopy. Yeah, these would be the new parts, obviously. I was looking at the control flight control areas, the instrument panel. I wasn't even paying attention to what else is here. So very nice. And let's see how many of these pieces potentially were redone. Oh, this is one of the redone pieces. Okay, so we have some of the instrument panel, which is nice. They give you the clear to go behind this to simulate the that is really that, you know, again 1/32 scale, but still that's amazing. Maybe manufacturers have done this before this, but I haven't been building a lot of aircraft, so the fact that they're doing that now is pretty darn cool. So again, some of the small replacement pieces here, obviously for some of the different parts. Wow, that looks like a 50 cal gun mount. This didn't have a 50 cal gun mount in it, so what is that? Maybe it's part of the bomb? No, it didn't. Well, yeah, it does bomb, so maybe it's part of the bomber. I don't know. I'm curious to look that one up in the instructions just to see what that's used for. Alright, here's some of the engine details. Radial engine. So this is 2013, so this is part of the original. I didn't think the engine had changed. But again, look at the amazing detail here. Sorry, I'm moving it too much. Okay, so then we have some of the fuel tanks and bombs. And I thought it said something in the thing about these being updated. Maybe not. There's another dash here. I'm guessing maybe this is part of the original, because otherwise why would they have the other part there? Doesn't that make sense? Seems to make sense to me. No, this does say 2014. Haha, wow, that's an interesting little thing. Why would they put that same part in there twice? It's a mystery. Alright, so then we have, again, some of the internal kind of firewall-y parts here, and some of the cockpit detail. Very nice. This is 2013 part, so this is the original part. Fire extinguisher gun. What the heck? There's a gun? That's clearly a gun handle. Looks like it's pointing into something. I don't think that's part of the normal. That's not the control stick. I don't think. Pappy Bollington did not look like he was firing something that looked like a gun. Alright, well, I'm trying to be amusing. If I'm failing, please let me know. Alright, so, we have two figures. The figures look very nice. 1/32 scale, obviously, so a little bit larger than 1/35. And that's the way they look. The heads look bigger. Just marginally. Now, it's funny, looking at that guy, he looks like his tongue is sticking out. He's obviously got a flight mask on, but look for a second, like when I was like, ew, he's got his tongue sticking out. So, but yeah, the figures look very nice. Okay, so that pretty much just leaves the stand, which is a nice, kind of interesting stand, I guess, if you want to do it with the gear up. And the masks, which are included. They include some masks and obviously some big honkin' decals. Take a look at those. They are doing something interesting on some of their new ones. They don't have staples. They just have kind of like little sealed weld points for the plastic, which is good for decal sheets because you don't want the staples to scratch them up by mistake. Alright, so again, this one is dated 2014, so these are new decals for this kit, and include obviously the various schemes that they outline on the box and in the instructions. And I'm not going to pull out the masks. Oh, but there's another decal sheet in there, probably for instrumentation and such. Okay, alright, come on out. Everybody come out and play. Alright, so yeah, this one has a lot of the various pieces here. So lots of little labels. Let's see how close I can get this thing to focus. Yeah, I'll be able to do better with my camera. Alright, so we'll definitely do I'll do some close-up shots of that, and then of course the mask. And this is part of the labeling for the stand. And then all this, you guys all, nope, turn over. There, okay. Stay there, be good. Alright, so this is the manual. Obviously they were alluding to the lots of color things. It's like a book. It's like a book. This one's got tape. They're really trying to confuse me, switching back and forth between staples and welding and tape. We have this nice little pull-out, almost like poster. That's kind of cool. That does have, you know, marking stuff on it and stuff. But I could see people putting this on their wall after they're done. And what else do we have? We have the reference little page thingy here, I think they're talking about. So we can open this up and just take a look. Got information in Japanese and English. Would appear to be the languages of the day. And again, lots of different potential model history there, features, some reference photos, and that's it. And then we have the very large manual and warning legal thingy probably. Manual is interesting. It's a flip. Oh, it's a flip up. Now you have to turn it this way. Again, more information. Some probably duplicated information, I'm sure there. Marking options. Step-by-step guide. Oh, the signal flare gun. Okay, all right, yeah. So the signal flare gun, like, it's down in a little compartment. Well, that makes sense. All right, so what's the thing that looks like a 50 cal mount? Yeah, that's what it is. It's the tail gear, the tail wheel. It does actually, you know, I have to admit, it does kind of look like a 50 cal mounting bracket. But yeah, that makes sense. I didn't think of that when I was looking at it. It confused me because it wasn't in the, it was in with the other stuff. No, it wasn't, I don't know. I'm just dumb. Alright, so again, step-by-steps, a lot of detail in this kit, obviously. Not for a beginner. Definitely not for a beginner. Ironically, my first aircraft ever was a 1/32 scale Flying Tiger, and as a 6-year-old I was able to put that together. Of course, it was just a little Revell kit or monogram kit or something. And, well, not little, but, and I painted it and everything, but yeah, I can imagine, like, getting this kit as a 10-year-old or something and just being like, whoa. So, but this kit obviously is not inexpensive either, so that's something to keep in mind as well. Now, I didn't pull the photo etch out, but I'll definitely go ahead and take some photos of that close up so you'll see that. I just don't want to really mess with it or get my fingerprints on it too much. And we'll go ahead and take a look at these photos now, and you can get an idea about the parts, close-up look of the parts themselves. And then we'll come back and conclude. Alright, well I hope you enjoyed this preview unboxing of the Vought F4U-1A Corsair. So it's not quite a mouthful. Birdcage was a lot easier in the last one. I assume this is a bubble top. Just a bubble top Corsair. I mean, you know, why don't I use the right lingo? I don't know, because maybe I'm just not an airhead. Airhead? Well, you know, it's kind of fair, I guess, isn't it? Because you like aircraft, you're an airhead. Because what you call the tank or something, I can't remember what it's not. It doesn't sound very good either. But I mean that in no way disrespectfully. But it was more just a description of the type of modeler people are. Now, again, there are people like me who build all sorts of models, but we're not fanatical. Now, granted, this is a model for a fanatic, or even an all-rounder modeler, but this is definitely a model for every aircraft fanatic out there to own, because whether you bought the birdcage probably or not, you'll want to build a kit again like this one, simply because it's so frickin' amazing. I mean, come on, let's be honest here. There's few kits like this that come along that are this well probably researched and well, you know, kind of thought out in terms of the construction process. There's just not a lot of releases that kind of raise or set the bar, you know, is what I'm trying to say. And so yeah, I think Tamiya have definitely hit this one. You know, it's a follow-up. Obviously, not a huge engineering thing to release 80% of a kit and 20% updated, but at least they've done their homework, hopefully, on the updated parts. And it's just another variant without having to really unrealistically trying to scratch something together. You wouldn't be able to do. I suppose you could if you took parts from other bubble top 32nd scale kits. You could probably try to take the birdcage and make a bubble top out of it. But that said, I might be talking totally out of my posterior. But yeah, I don't think anybody would prefer to do that versus just buying this kit. So, but I ramble, and I do that sometimes. So if you liked this video and me rambling, please let me know. If you didn't, well, go away. But we'll see you next time. I'd like to thank Tamiya USA again for sending us this sample. We're one of the few websites they do send samples to, and we take that responsibility seriously. So even though I've been a little tongue-in-cheek on this video, please be aware we will have this kit up for a more serious and in-depth inbox review, potentially, or straight to a build review or build feature with an astounding modeler whom we will select at some point in the future. So if you're interested in being the guy who does this, or gal, because there are gals out there who make models, believe it or not, then you can email me at publisher@kitmaker.net. And if you want to check out our sample sheet, it's online on the homepage on Aeroscale under the reviews section. You can see it says available samples, and it tells you all the kits that we currently have out there that are not yet assigned. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Cracking the Box.